And all green side.
I never had chili before.
So it's your first time.
Yeah. So she doesn't like, she's never read my writing.
She said that were her favorite songs.
She just likes your vibe, I guess.
I think
I mean,
the best part is she means that she's very blunt with
Yeah.
the writing. So like if she's not gonna sugarcoat anything. If something's like problem, like it's bad,
Yeah.
she'll let you know, which is good.
Hmm.
Because like especially in 229, most of the feedback I got was just like, oh, it's great. Great. Like, give me something to work with here.
Yeah.
Like, don't keep boosting my ego up. I need to be humbled a little bit. Like, isn't
Like, I
hard.
think my screenwriting is good, but I also started in fall of 2021. So, like, I know that I have stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I also not just about like when you started, but like we're all like what, relative, like 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, whatever.
Spring.
Oh, relatively young. So it's
Yeah.
like,
It's
that's
old.
exactly. So,
That's just practice. I feel like writing a feature is like the best kind of practice.
Yeah. I'm
It
working
is.
on two other ones right now, but I haven't gotten very far. One of them's a book adaptation, so
Nice. What's up?
it's called The Foxhole Court.
Okay.
It's about a guy on the run from his serial killer father. And he like accidentally joins a college sports team. He's like, that was a bad idea.
So like, are you like? It
How
sounds like that you're like you know how to compartmentalize.
to what?
Compartmentalize.
Oh yeah.
That I wish I was able to do that. Be like morning, I write this script. Afternoon, I write a different script. Like, I'll write a different script.
I mean, I'm not super good at it, but it works out usually.
It's always an exercise.
I just like do what I feel like doing. I feel like doing it.
As you should. As you should. I mean, it's control you. You guys just want to go into it?
Sure. Yeah, why not? I have to leave a bit early today, so
When do you have to leave?
probably like 5:30.
Okay.
But since there's only three of us here, we'll probably wrap it.
I think we're about pretty quickly. Yeah. But has Mitch texted you back or?
Oh, fuck. I forgot.
Yeah, text Mitch because if he does show up around like 5, then like wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would feel bad if we just left him hanging.
Yeah, and he just shows up. He's like, we'll go. Yeah.
No, Mitch.
God, what's his number? Okay, there it is.
Mhm.
You know, he asked me to do edit on his film that he's gonna be doing over the summer, and he wants me to do like fire CGI, like CGI fires and shit like that. I'm
Like
like,
flames.
I've never done that before. Yeah, but I
No
watched the
pressure,
video and
man.
it looks super cool. So,
What do you like? Adobe like After Effects?
yeah, I've only really done fonts and after.
I hate editing. I don't know. Have you guys done 275?
Yeah, I love that class. I had Trevor though, so it was really.
I had the guy named Ethan. He was new.
Oh, Carter McCormick.
Or yeah, McCormick, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know. I don't like him to be honest.
He's a little.
He's funny,
He's
but
funny, yeah. I don't think he does on the teach
no, he doesn't.
post production yet. He's still brand new. I think that's why. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, I was like absent like the majority of that class. I still ended up with an A, but I hated it. It was funny though, because like I know that one we had to do where it was like have you done it yet or no?
What?
275.
Mm.
So pretty much one of the assignments is like grab a whole bunch of like archive footage and put it together to make a story. And mine was like, oh, like let's do old cinema. So I had like videos like in archive like old movies and just put it together, put music behind it. And then I watched Babylon and it was like, wow, it sounds like it looks like a college student can make that. I'm like, oh wait, it's me. They stole it from me, literally. Yeah. No, but yeah, yeah, that was a really fun assignment.
Yeah.
What was your final for your production?
I had to edit a documentary, and I chose this like, or we were assigned like this, like footage of like a bunch of like little girls skateboarding, and so I just made a documentary.
Oh, okay. So for us, it was either make a fiction film and edit it, or they gave us two films. It was like the boxer one. I don't know if you did that.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, the boxer, or it's like this taco restaurant thing. And I was like, it can't be that bad. It sounds pretty cool to edit. And then everyone's like, dude, and I already picked it, so I couldn't change it at that point. It's like, dude, sucks. Because like you have to like land the punches and
Yeah.
oh my gosh,
It's so hard because the footage isn't like fucking,
it's all raw. It's
yeah,
all
it's not
raw.
numbered. It's just
Yeah.
like,
You can't like you have to color grade it, you have to do all the music, everything.
actually, yeah.
I think it's because maybe like Ethan or Carter, whatever, he's like pretty easy grader. I got an A on it, but I thought it was horrible.
Yeah.
So like, maybe just give us the benefit. Yeah.
Mine was dog shit and I got a C on it. So
Yeah.
I'll take it as.
We're done with my class. So
Hey, that's still one of my favorite classes.
oh really? It was?
Yeah, it was just like really good for learning like color grading and like how to edit sound and stuff like that. I don't know, I had a really good class.
Yeah. I would honestly like when I would like make movies and whatnot, I'll just paste on it, edit my movie, get an editor. Just that edit. I'm not gonna, I mean I'll be in the editing room with him for her, but like
I like editing. So
you do?
It's like, yeah.
maybe just because I haven't edited on my own like fun time. It's always been like for a project.
Mhm.
And there's always been like a deadline. And I'm just like stressed out in the lab for like 5 hours, eating nothing,
Yeah.
complaining about my shitty job editing this thing. So
I did editing for UTV on Curling Smoke. I was our main editor. And that was a lot of fun. Even though
That
I
was
had,
last
like,
semester.
yeah, I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. But hey, it turned out good and they loved it. So
that's good.
that made me very happy, I guess.
Are the films from last semester also premiering at the film festival?
Yeah. If they get it, it's like you have to submit it and then they'll judge it. Be like, no, this one's shit.
Yeah, I was an extra in Friends to Lend,
Oh, nice.
and they were like, "We'll email you guys when it's done."
Never emailed you, huh?
Was it not good or
It's
what?
probably still not done yet.
Really?
Dude, I just heard about the editing process for that.
It was bad.
It just sounded like I know the person who's the editor, and it just sounded like they were just falling behind, and then I just stopped hearing anything about like the film.
So you got shelved straight up.
Really?
That would suck.
I know Epic Blues got shelved.
Well, yeah, but it's not going to recycle.
It's very similar, but
Revamped.
it's like drugs and shit. Very different.
Just revamped.
Like a little bit. It's very different. Like because it's about like a story of camaraderie
Uh-huh.
and brotherhood.
Yeah.
Dirt cycle, and then Epic Blue.
Yeah.
I did UTV my first 2 semesters here. Never did it ever again. Got nothing against UTV. I've had some problems with UTV.
I've heard.
They're just clicky as fuck.
Yeah.
That's something I don't like, but like it's just very clicky. And I want to get back into it. I tried being the manager for the screenwriting
Mhm.
writer's room,
Yeah,
and some other girl got it, and
and she's in my English class right now.
I was in the class with her for screenwriting, and like I just didn't think like her script was as strong as mine, but that's just my opinion. But no, I just wanted that, and that was that's like the only way for me to go back into it. Was
Talking about UTV.
just how it's clicky.
It is.
Yeah.
That's just how things.
It's also, it thinks it's,
Bigger than what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just
Bill will always tell you, UTV is the #1 way to get.
yeah, that's what
and it is as far as NAU goes, and like Bill knows what the fuck he's doing, but
Yeah.
like.
yeah, but he acts like it's the only way.
Go ramming down your
Dude,
throat.
it's not the only way.
And there's just a lot of like shitty people in there who like think that they're way cool, like think that they're way.
Because of the X factor.
Yeah, that they're like after this, I'll probably be working with Stuber.
Before you know, I got on.
And I'm like, oh,
DP. Bros is already producing my film and distributed.
Don't get me wrong, I love being on set though. That's what makes it worth it.
Oh yeah, being on set is very.
If I were to ever get put back into the fucking writer's room, I think I would like hang myself.
Why? I love the.
Yeah, I think writing is cool. Like I was talking to them earlier how I wanted to manage. Because I feel like that's where it starts.
I think that the writers' room is one of the only spots in UTV that you could sit for like 2 years and like legitimately become better at your practice.
Yeah, and I think you're also and like at least like because since I want to manage it.
For sure though.
Yeah, I
I know.
think that's where the story is because I feel like every story has been relatively kind of similar the past couple of years at UTV. And I feel like a writer's room is like able to write more creative scripts, I guess. I don't know. I think the last couple of movies have been kind of weak.
The issue is that Bill is always like, oh, like do something different, do something unique, like do something that like student like will like connect with students, and then like you give him like weird different shit, and he's like, we can't do this.
Yeah. Like it always ends up with like drugs, opioids, horror, like
Mhm.
that's and romance,
Yeah,
rom-coms.
like
maybe.
I've given him like 2 or 3 experimental scripts, and he was like, "We just can't do this, not now." And he's like, "We just can't do these right now. It's like a good script, but we can't." And I'm like, "Oh, but like you keep asking us to like do different shit."
Yeah.
Make up your mind.
Yeah, and this is like different shit. Like nothing
Mhm.
like this has been done in UTV before. And then he's like, "Yeah, but like it needs to be more simplistic." So it's like he's asking for us to do different shit, but keep it simple. And it's like a very, and then like you said, I always end up. I'm like, "Well, this is a story about like drugs."
Here we go.
And he's like,
All
"All right, cool, like that."
He loves drugs, I guess.
He really likes it.
Yeah.
He went crazy in Africa. Just started smoking all sorts of opium.
Zaza, bro. With that true Zaza. All right. What scripts do you guys want to start with?
Let me pull up all my things.
I'll read yours.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance. to
I'm
look
still
so
working.
That's
Reading
fair.
yours
That's
too,
fair.
good.
That's my fault.
far. No, you're good. You're good. You know, the process takes time. I get it.
I
No,
will
blame me, guys. Blame me.
I will apologize for my latency and lack of submissions because I have been on set and
Yeah.
doing.
That's what we thought. We're like, I was probably really busy with this.
Yeah,
For sure.
I appreciate it. Yeah, got home at like 10 last night. Bed.
There you go.
It's the grind,
I
man.
was worked from 9 a.m. to 3:15.
Man,
Went
shit.
home, showered, came here.
That's crazy,
Yeah.
dude. I had to work on was it Saturday. I had to work on Sunday. I had to work 6 a.m. to 1.
Where do you work?
I work at a hotel and we set up like big events and parties and banquets and whatnot.
Mm.
And there's this church that came for 3 days, like a huge concert. They set the stage. We were like roadies for them. I hated it. But yeah, it was miserable. It goes by so slow, but at the end of the day, I get discounts. It's crazy. Every hotel for Hilton in America, $40.
That's like really nice.
Yeah, so I went to the Sundance Festival and I
And you
got
stayed at
a
Hilton.
Hilton, and one of the theaters was in the hotel, and
Oh
I paid
my
$40 a night. So that was crazy.
That's really nice.
Yeah,
Is that in Salt Lake City?
it's in. So there's 3 locations.
Okay.
Primarily, it's in Park City. That's where the big like the headquarters is at. But there's 2 theaters in Salt Lake, and then there's one in like Sundance Mountain Resort, which is like 40 minutes south of like Salt Lake and Park City. I only stayed in Park City because there's no point in me getting an Uber to see a movie. There was like 6 theaters in my area. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it was crazy though. I was eating hot dogs and popcorn the entire week. That's
So yeah, I don't blame you.
yeah, I didn't eat shit, dude. I think I watched the most I watched in a day was like 7 movies.
Damn.
That's a lot of movies.
Bat mitzvah. Who calls it bat
A
mitzvah?
bat mitzvah.
Oh, is it?
So there's bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs.
Yeah.
Are they different?
Yeah, one's for girls and one's for guys.
Whoa, bro.
That's weird.
I
Yeah,
never knew that.
yeah. If you're watching me, might be less of an asshole.
Hey, I'm liking it a lot more. Already,
Okay,
so
cool.
Feels more cohesive.
Thanks. Yeah, the reason why it changed me is because I remembered I recently rewatched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I have to.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of using like kind of like inspiration of like this dude, like a washed up has been, like DiCaprio, but put more of assholery to it a little bit. There we go. That's Jasper calling me.
Gotcha.
I really gotta watch The Great Gatsby again.
The new
I
one?
just always remember.
Yeah, the boss line.
Dude, the scene with the fucking Kanye West song.
I actually
couldn't-
love.
I couldn't finish it. No, that turned me off hella. I remember I'm watching the beginning of Great Gatsby and all of a sudden I heard dubstep and then I started drinking. I'm like, I turned it off. My skin started crawling.
Cringe, Pete cringe.
Yeah,
You know,
like,
I like that shit.
that's why I was
Yeah.
nervous watching Elvis because then all of a sudden
No,
here's Doja Cat. And I was like,
Elvis.
oh.
No, that was the best part.
I love Elvis, to be honest.
Really?
I fucking hated Elvis. Elvis made me hate Tom Hanks. I will.
I mean, I think Austin Butler's pretty damn good as Elvis.
He looks more like Elvis than I.
Yeah.
The funniest movie. And also the acting in that movie. So good.
I think who was underrated was Priscilla. She needed more yeah, her performance as Priscilla was insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was really good. Like
She needed more screen time. I was like so attached to her, like, bro, it was insane.
I don't know, all those people that were in that movie like really established how much of a superstar they could be. I don't know.
Besides Tom Hanks.
Yeah, fuck Tom Hanks.
Dude, that was so bad.
Man,
So my grandma, she's I think 85. She's seen Elvis like 4 or 5 times in life. She's like obsessed with Elvis.
Yeah.
And so when she watched the movie, like she was like in love with it, but she hated Tom Hanks. It's like
Yeah.
that's not the Colonel Parker I knew. Like you didn't even know him. Like you didn't even know who Colonel Parker was. It's like, yeah, but he didn't talk like that. It's so funny.
I don't know. I thought the whole movie was like a love letter of music and maybe.
Oh, for sure. I saw it in Hollywood at the big like dojo theater.
Oh,
And so it was like a really cool experience.
Yeah.
And then I walk out to my car and my car was broken into.
Ooh.
So maybe that's why I hated Elvis more. Like if this was like an hour shorter, I probably wouldn't have gotten my car broken into.
It could have stood to be an hour short.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I saw it at the Roadhouse Cinemas.
Roadhouse, really?
Yeah.
First one.
Scottsdale.
Scottsdale.
That was my first job at Roadhouse.
Really? How was it?
It was like an acid trip.
Really?
Fucking crazy. I left for like 4 months, and right before I came back, they found a dead guy in the bathroom.
What?
Yeah. He
In
died of like a
Scottsdale?
stroke or something.
well,
Of all places, Scottsdale.
that's
Yeah.
fucking insane.
It was
What high
insane.
school did you go to?
Swarrow.
Oh, okay, cool.
What about you?
I hate this. I hate this question. I went to Pinnacle.
Okay.
You asked for it. You asked for it.
Usually people are just like, square one, and I like just pray that that's not the response because I
90% of the time the response.
yeah, but
Pinnacle.
my high
I'm trying to
school,
think if I knew
my high school.
Where's Pinnacle at? In Phoenix.
Pinnacle is like, you know, Desert Ridge Marketplace.
I don't know. I'm from Tucson, but I know a lot of like high schools in Phoenix.
It's not far from Horizon.
See, I have a lot of places on Horizon, so I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know
If you had said Horizon, oh man, fuck Horizon.
I would call it Horizon.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends from Horizon.
Yeah, I don't know. So,
Wait, where are you from?
I went to Corona del Sol.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
That sounds familiar.
Tempe.
Oh,
Do you know Marvin Bagley Jr.?
Yeah.
Yeah, he went to our school.
Really? He did.
Years,
That's
yeah.
a cool flex.
I know. I had a science class with him.
That is sick, dude.
Well,
He had to leave early.
that's like I don't know if you were listening to Logan when he was talking about it on set, but like him and Noah Beck, that TikTok kid,
I don't know back here.
yeah, they like grew up
He was
together.
ASU. One of my friends is like.
I don't know that.
Good
I
friend.
don't know that guy.
I'll find him. You'll see him, and you'll be like, oh yeah, that.
He's a little cringy.
Yeah, he's a TikTok.
He's a TikTok. Like, just imagine that.
I can imagine.
One of my rivals.
Yeah,
in
he's
school-
like exactly what you think he looks like.
Oh wait,
Oh God.
what school did he go?
I do know this guy.
No, they grew up and then like he like moved somewhere and then moved back to Arizona or some shit. But like they like grew up together and like played soccer together and shit. And he said that everybody fucking hated him.
There was at my school our rival baseball team. It was one of our. It was Walden Grove. So we had Walden Grove and South Point were huge rivals, and Walden Grove were playing against them. And there's this baseball player, and it was a baseball game. His name is Nolan Gorman, and there's a huge fight that broke out between us. And he was the main like person on the other team fighting. I was holding him back. He literally told me, "I will lay you out." And dude was like triple my size, so like I didn't. I'm like I don't doubt you. So I was holding him back. He still pushed me to the ground, knocked me out straight up. And now he's like the second string third baseman for the St. Louis Cardinals, and he's like absolutely like the beast. So
Yeah.
that's my flex.
Yeah.
Got laid out from Nolan Gorman.
Alright, I gotta listen to this song. You know, when you put a song in the fucking script, I gotta listen to it.
Okay, yeah.
What song is it?
Which one?
Better get in your soul.
That one's so good.
I need to make a playlist for my school.
That's how I start all of my scripts with a
Yeah.
playlist and I keep it on repeat.
Yeah, you just find the dirt just like
And I have the Dirt Cycle playlist. Yeah.
It's just like Patrick Bateman with the headphones in.
Yeah, that's me every day. On set, I just sit in the corner.
I wrote a script with nothing but Metallica music in it, and I wonder if she listened to any of the songs back then.
She probably played like 30 seconds of one, was like,
It's like a
"Nah."
track list of like,
She's like, not my cup of tea. Unless she's
Yeah,
a Metallica fan.
Little did we know.
she did give me an A, so
There you go.
who knows?
I'm also glad to see that. Well, okay, yours is at 28. Fuck.
Who's that 28?
Yours.
Oh, mine's 28.
I'm at 30.
You're at 30.
And I think Eric's at 30 as well, 31.
I wanted to be at 45. I thought I was
I-
slacking.
I was
I think we're all like a little slower to it, but
Yeah.
I think from what I've read, like I think we're making improvements as we're going along,
Yeah.
rather than writing it all out and then going back.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm like after our last meeting, I was like, I have to fix the first part.
well, like Sheeny also said, like everyone writes at a different pace. Our writing process is different.
Yeah.
So like she expects us to be done with Act Two, or we working on Act Two.
We're supposed to be halfway done through act.
Yeah, but like if you're not there, I don't think she's gonna be mad at you.
I'm
Yeah.
getting into Act 2 right now. Like the next scene is the beginning of
Yeah,
Act
that's
2.
how mine's like leading into
I've just been so busy the last like 2 weeks. I haven't had any time to update since like,
exactly.
and whenever I do, it's
Lives
just
outside.
schlocky shit, so I just delete it.
I've had so much fucking homework for other classes. It's not even fun.
No, for real.
Yeah.
I also just like I was struggling. I know you guys were talking about it. Like I was struggling with like what other conflict can I add to this besides like
This
the
is kind of
two
what I'm going through right now.
things. And I ended up coming up with an idea. Hang on, I'll pull it up so I know I'm not just talking.
Yeah. And I think for you,
Eric,
Eric, I think it's also like I can see where it's hard for you to keep writing because yours is a comedy and you have to write a joke and it's like, oh, that's not funny, delete. Write a joke, not funny, delete.
That's but like I feel like I really struggle writing comedy.
That's why I feel like situational comedy is more like
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
I really want to dip my toes into comedy. I feel like now's a really good time to do that, but I have to go for weird comedy.
dark comedies. I love dark.
Have you seen I Think You Should Leave on Netflix?
Yes.
That's my kind of comedy.
I started watching it by the way.
you started watching
It's
it.
so fucking
It's
fun.
yeah, it
Only
is.
like 2 episodes.
I told Eric like maybe 2 3 weeks ago. I was like, dog, you have to like it is the funniest fucking TV show.
Like
I've
some of
ever
the
seen.
skits don't hit for me, but others is like this is comedic.
Some of them, it's very like this is just pissing me off. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
But like 90% of them, it's like this could be
Yeah.
the
My
It's
favorites
genius.
are
It's
the burger one and the fucking ghost one.
Also,
Every Yeah, where they're like the college
Oh.
students are out to dinner with their own classic.
Have you
That looks really good.
it's not like really good comedy, but like it's also like very emotional too, is On the Count of Three.
Okay.
It's on Hulu. Have you seen it?
So
That's my favorite type of comedy.
Okay, I was following that movie
For years.
for
Yes.
years, like
Yes.
waiting for it to like Gerard, because I was like, I do like Carmichael, and I was like, this sounds like
I
such
love
a cool
Christopher
concept.
Nolan,
Yeah, I was like, it sounds like a really cool concept. It was at where did it debut? Was it
Sundance. I saw it. I saw it
Sundance?
Sundance. Yeah.
And I like heard about it. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I gotta see this.
So I saw it at Sundance years ago, and I was like, sick, because I was doing it virtually, and so I was like, oh, like this is sick. Like this movie's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to come out. It's like huge. Never was huge.
No one gave a shit about it.
Yeah, it's on Hulu now though. But
Yeah, it's awesome.
it's so good. It's pretty much about these two guys that want to commit joint suicide, but before they do it, like
They're like,
great.
one last day.
Yeah.
I will say, the ending caught me off guard.
The ending is so good.
It's really, really good, but it caught me off guard, and I think that's why it's so good. Because like you think you like not like know exactly how it ends, but you understand the general like
What it's
idea
gonna
of
lead
where it's
to.
gonna lead
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
It doesn't, you're like,
Yeah.
oh,
It was heavy for me. I think.
oh,
I was
yeah.
like,
I mean, it was very heavy. It was heavy though.
that's why I like how it's not like offensive.
And I like it's like that like style of script writing and directing that I like really really enjoy, that like I can see myself getting like
Yeah.
that's kind of like I
That's
guess
what I
my
strive
goal.
for.
Yeah, so it was really cool to see. Okay, but this is what I wanted to say. This was like the exterior conflict that I ended up coming up with, and I think I'm gonna stick with it. And I'm getting to, like I said, the point where this character would be introduced.
Mhm.
And I've essentially created like a owner of the club. So he kind of initially starts to notice James when he makes his way into it. And he kind of takes James under his wing in a sense. So he pulls him into, I say, whatever. He pulls James into the lifestyle and shares his deranged perspectives, explaining to James that he can have whatever he wants if he truly desires it. Um, and it's like after the first interaction, he's like, this guy's fucking crazy, like this whole area is crazy, like I'm not involved in this. And then he ends up being tracked by like the people, like his like henchmen in a sense. So like then it kind of adds a layer of like paranoia to James, where it's like he is now wary of like if this what he's indulging in outside of his like I guess main world is going to leak its way into his personal life. Um, so
I think you can easily do that by imagine he's at work and he sees like he's just like looking around like thinking like, oh, what if these coworkers one that's like tracking?
yeah,
I think that would be interesting.
and like what it also essentially does is like I have like a scene where because he kind of starts to convince James that like it's all just like a it's all about like your perspective on life, like how you want to handle it and how you can either dive into like your deepest desires or you can stray away from that and stick with what you have in life and try to attempt to be satisfied. And so like there are points like where James kind of goes back and forth on his perspective. And then as it progresses, near the end, he's realizes like this guy's fucking crazy, but he's in a sense like in too deep with him already. And
How does it end?
so
There's that one girl at the hotel, right? Like he like fucks her.
That's not how it ends. But it ends with this is like the other thing was that it ends with him. I say the last bullet point I have is James now completely encapsulated by darkness as he sips his beverage. The music becomes muffled and the light shine fading through the blackness. So it's kind of like a I don't want to say ambiguous because it's essentially like he is now cut off all ties with the life he spent his like the last 30
Yeah,
years
just
creating,
yeah.
and now he's suffering in his own misery that he chose to be in. But to add another layer to that, and it involves the owner as well. There's a point where like the owner starts off by like the way he kind of brings James into his perspective and into his world and get him on the side is he gives him a shit ton of money because he like ends up talking to him about how much he hates his job and how he wishes that like he did not have to just stick in this like mundane lifestyle. And so he gives him a fuck ton of money and he's like, see, like I'm on your side, like I'm here to help you, I can fix your problems, like you just have to trust me, all this. Um, so he kind of gets a little bit more lenient, and it eventually leads to like him expressing like the problems he's currently having with his relationship. And because the owner's perspective somewhat makes sense in a very like skewed way, his first thought is like, oh, I'll just kill your wife so you don't have to deal with that anymore. So that's like another part of like the following spying tracking thing from like his henchmen is that like at the end when James is like alone in the club, he is like legitimately alone because he is hinted at or like he finds out that like his wife is now dead because of his actions. So it's like not only is she out of his life, but she's dead. Um, I'm not sure if I'm gonna stick with that ending, but I really like the character of the owner because I think I guess in a sense he's like the villain of the story. It adds a little bit more conflict and he's weird and creepy and scary. So I think it's cool.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I think also like if you have the owner like just flat out like batshit crazy, and obviously the main character goes back to him at the end. And if you like kind of have like, even though he is crazy, there's like some sort of charm into him. So it's kind of like this toxic relationship where he just ends up back there because he knows like there's like nothing else better for him.
Exactly.
So if you're able to make sure there is some sort of like strength or like something that's really interesting about him that catches the main character's attention and make it kind of like repetitive in a sense to where you can see why he's going back to him over and over.
But you know it's not
It's not healthy.
Yeah, it's not
It's
yeah,
like an abusive
that's
relationship.
yeah, that's like kind of the intention with it.
Yeah.
You said something that I wanted to like I forget what I was gonna say if it comes back to me.
Yeah.
Your script is really good.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think like one small note I have is I think Sydney should be a little more prevalent still.
I think Sydney's definitely coming back for sure.
Yeah,
He's gonna be really prevalent soon. Yeah.
No, I like the vibe. I like fast pacedness, and it feels a lot more digestible
Mhm.
and connected.
Thank you, yeah.
So,
Yeah, because I know you said like how you wanted to like me to put in narration, like that was the advice you gave me. And
like some way to just string together
like his past.
random events that
Yeah,
we see.
yeah. So I was like, what's a better way of doing it? And I think like when they're at the bar, when they're talking about like his moments, it's like a flashback to him, like, recording for that movie studio or him like performing like his first performance or whatever, all those little like
Yeah.
flashbacks. But I was like, maybe that's better.
Kind of like BoJack to an extent.
Yeah. Well, like that's when I thought of like Once Upon a Time, like Al Pacino was talking about being like washed up. And it's like flashback to him like all the movies he was doing. So I kind of thought of that like that like to be a better way to do that. So
But it reads a lot more
Thank
cohesive, so
thank you
for
very
sure.
I'm throwing mine in the drive right now. I'll let you all know that like the way I write my scripts is very much get the ideas out. I like the dialogue is not good at parts. Like I just because I was like, what do I need to say at this point? I'll write it, and it's either like super cliche or like straightforward. But I'm like, I'll go back to it, and I'm like, okay, how can I say this without putting it directly in front of the viewers or like the reader's face?
Do you say like your strength is more the action, like the description, or more dialogue?
Actually, no, I'm way stronger with dialogue. I'm
Okay.
very good at creating. For a while, I struggled because it was like I either had a shit ton of description, was really good with description,
Uh,
or I did a shit ton of dialogue and just said everything. But I like over time, obviously, found the balance. But I am definitely better with dialogue because I find that I'm pretty good at writing as if it's not a script, writing authentically in the way people talk and what they do say and what they don't say.
Yeah.
But that's because this is how I do it. I write out exactly what they would want to say or what they're thinking. And then I go back. I go, okay, how would somebody actually
just check
say
and make
this?
sure it's
How
not
would
really
they actually
Yeah.
say this?
I think this one too is I think most of the time dialogue,
If you don't mind, can I read it on your computer?
yeah,
because he's recording. Yeah.
oh, yeah.
But I think the best part of dialogue, I think the most important part, I think dialogue and the characters is what creates the story. It's not like the story doesn't. It's it's like that cliche saying like the character drives the story. It creates the environment. So what says matters. So
Yeah.
but it's more important than the description. I feel like description's more the audience can fill it in if they read it or whatever,
Yeah. Yeah, I've definitely been less descriptive in this, unless there's obviously a scene where there is no dialogue. Um, but yeah.
You want to start talking about one of our scripts right now? Or do you want to?
We can, yeah. I'll just read his
Okay.
when I have time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess we'll talk about Jude's. So then you can read still. If you want to chime in, you can chime in.
I have to go move to.
Have you read mine?
Um,
Yeah.
did you put it in last night or?
I put it in this morning.
Have all you guys read mine?
I just finished reading yours.
Do you want to read mine, Mitch? And then we can.
Okay, a little bit longer of a reading break, and then we'll get into it.
Okay.
Yeah, something. CXPL.
That's not the actual title, that's a place.
See,
It sounds six
No.
bucks.
better than just saying untitled script.
I just watched so many times where like in your head you like read it really quick.
CXP.
And it's I was like, wait, it sounds like sex appeal, and that could fucking work.
No.
I was like, you know, like I mean, I did them for
Holy shit. Like I'm a genius.
no, I've been yeah, that was the point.
I'm David Lynch,
Yeah. Is it okay if I make comments on yours like under your name?
Is it what?
Like.
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure.
Just so I wanted you to know that's what happened. So you didn't look at it. Thought you had an alternate.
Dude, I like it.
Yeah.
It's very descriptive, very nice. I think there's like one scene that I think is a little unnecessary, but it works.
Which one?
It's the one where they're sitting down having dinner after they just had that argument and then things kind of get patched up. I don't know. I feel like it just kind of resolves that situation too easy. I think it's better to leave it open-ended. Like,
With the first argument or the second argument?
so the argument about you haven't talked about our child in over a week,
Oh.
and then proceeding that
Mhm.
they sit down and have dinner, and it's kind of like nothing happened, but something did happen. Now if you want to like drive it more like they're just kind of like ignoring the actual situation, I think you could lean more into that, and then it'd be a lot more interesting to see. But I just love your description, man. I'm jealous of it. It's so good.
Thank you, I
I can
appreciate
tell
it.
you visualize like everything very well. So
What I was gonna say is, let me see here, I'm not making you ask me anything, but. Okay, so then so after that argument, the next scene is interior apartment night. In my description, I wrote the two sit opposite of each other across a long black slender dinner table. They eat their food in silence, and then I was on the floor. Um, so the way I envisioned it, and I can definitely describe this a little bit better, is like think about like how like the dinner table in Incredibles when they were like all
It's
across
long.
each other like that.
Yeah.
So it was like more of like they're very separated in their silence, and it's like let's just not talk about what happened, and we'll try to move past it. What would you say would be the best way for me to like explain
I
that?
feel like
Could I?
it is a bit to an extent like tropey, but I think you can kind of like spin it on its head a bit. Like maybe they do break out into another argument, or maybe he gets flustered and leaves like abruptly. I
Mhm.
don't know, I just think ending the scene with like, even if he doesn't mean it, like just being like, I love you too and stuff, which
Mhm.
I think is how it ends. It just feels a little bit too obvious that, and you can really lean into how they're both uncomfortable without giving it away.
Okay. Do you want to write that note down on there?
Yeah, sure.
Did you want me to pull up mine for you to read?
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
I'll read it fast, I
I
promise.
feel so special. I read everyone's.
Wow, you're
I-
like so talented.
I wish I was.
Well, I read your guys' before I got here.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll be prepared this time.
Yeah.
It's like if I submitted mine late, at least I can do it.
Yeah.
At least prepare for everyone else.
I was hoping some of them would be uploaded last night because I had time last
It's the
night.
girl in the golden poppy suit trying to show up again.
That's
She's got the sparkles on
She
her
got that
face.
thing on.
She's that thing, and she's got the sparkles on her face.
Girl got sparkles.
He's
on her
like-
face, run.
Literally like that was like his reaction. It was awesome. I
Like
loved
a
reading that.
little boy
Yeah,
seeing that.
she's just
Hooker
staring.
for the
Yeah,
first
she's
time.
just staring him down. Dude has no idea what to do.
I remember the first time I saw a hooker.
I don't think I've ever seen like a hooker.
Really?
Been to Vegas.
Okay, I went to
Or
Vegas when
LA?
I was like 10, so.
And you were like, "Wow, they're all saying you're around."
So when I went to Hollywood over the summer with my buddy, we were it's a Sunday night.
Uh-huh.
That's the worst night to be in Hollywood is Sunday night because when all the tourists leave.
Mm.
And so we were there. So we were there for like a concert. The concert sucks. We left early and just walked around. It was the last dinosaurs. You know that?
Oh, they suck.
So no, I like the last dinosaurs. I think it's good music, but
Yeah.
live,
That's what I meant, like live.
live. I think it might have been the venue because we got a headache, massive headache from like the speakers. And I'm like, let's just leave. Like we didn't pay for them, we got free tickets.
Oh,
Like
oh
yeah,
yeah, I do know.
So,
I know
yeah.
a couple songs.
Yeah. I like them. Yeah. So then we're just like we just walked around Hollywood for a little while, and then we started seeing like the hookers come out, like sketchy people, and the girls were like, "Hey, what you guys up to tonight?" And it was like, "Fuck, let's get out of here."
That,
Like we became little kids at that point. We're like, "What am I mom?" Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Exactly.
No, but
This is pretty convincing.
last time I was in Vegas, that happened, and I like didn't understand what was happening at first because I wasn't, I was in Vegas, so I was like, and I like turned and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" Like, I thought I was like about to have like a friendly conversation with somebody. Yeah.
The lady.
She was like, "What are you doing later?" I was like, "Oh, I think we're gonna go get tacos right now." And then like after like I was and then she was like, I like after like 2 or 3 more words, I was like, I think she's trying for money.
Come on,
And I was like, I'll see you later.
you just like, for money or is it for free?
Yeah, it depends. Depends. I have 2 minutes.
Have you seen White Lotus?
I love White Lotus.
Season
Love White
2
Lotus.
with the fucking prostitute.
That's the best season though.
And that guy like thought that she like liked him, and then she just left him with his
Oh,
baby.
Lucia and
Yeah.
with him. I forgot his name. Was his name Adam?
Something like silly, like Artie or something.
Oh, it was yeah, it was I can't remember. It's tip of my tongue. The actor's name is Adam.
Oh.
White Lotus. White Lotus season 2 is so good.
I liked season 1 better just because I felt like season 2 took itself too seriously.
I think there's more stakes in season 2.
I liked both of them.
Have you read
Well,
the
I'll
book?
be. I'll
Yes.
be.
Oh, cool.
All
be.
Yeah.
Volunteers.
Yeah, have you read it? Have you read everyone's script?
Yeah.
Fuck, from the last one.
When I heard that when I wrote it, all I heard was like I'm Trevor saying fuck.
I watched Black Klansman first time the other night.
So good.
So good. I love that film.
I was working at Roadhouse when it came out, and I remember how many people walked out of the theaters fucking pissed.
My dad was losing his shit because I put it on one day and when he came home, he was like, "Oh, what's this?" I was like, "Oh, it's just a movie."
Yeah.
Yeah, he was not a happy
Yeah.
man.
Circa December 24th, 2018, the family was trying to find out watch a movie. And our tradition is to watch the weirdest movies on Christmas Eve.
Mhm.
And so we came across Black Klansman.
Yeah.
And it was like it just came out for like PVOD, like
Yeah.
and we were like, let's watch it. We all love Spike Lee, so we watched it and we were all just like gushing over it. We just loved
I
it.
mean, sure.
My family just recently started seeing movies on Christmas Eve. We saw
That's a Jewish thing.
Spider-Man last year.
That's cultural appropriation.
Okay,
You can't do
it's-
that.
Which is like
What you do? Get Chinese food too?
We did not get Chinese.
You guys want to be so bad. You want to be so bad.
In 2021, we saw Spider-Man at Harkins and then went to Roadhouse for dinner because nobody else was fucking open.
Mhm.
That was so funny.
Every Christmas, Chinese food in a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
This year we just went to Roadhouse. Movie and dinner at Roadhouse.
we went to the movie once on Christmas. It was 2017. And we were all like, it can't be that packed on Christmas to go to the movies. So like, let's just go see, The Force Awakens, Star Wars. The first Star Wars would be like, so say what, like 15, 14 years, And so we go, and yeah, it was packed, full of cosplayers, and yeah, it was insane. Yeah, it was wild. And then we're like, never again. We felt bad. People working on Christmas, so we're like,
Yeah.
let's just stay home.
I worked on Christmas Eve.
Really,
Yeah.
I just take advantage of it. Like, I just get off Christmas Eve, Christmas. Really, you went to Roadhouse, right? The time.
No. It was this year. Like,
Hot Topic. Oh, so like I work at Home Depot in Tucson, and if you work within the 2-week parameter of Christmas, so the week before and the week after, you get holiday pay. Period.
that's how it should be.
So I was like, all right, cool. So
Capital T. That's your first note. Capital T.
English major.
I'm also, I don't know if I haven't looked over. I am like really prone to typos in my scripts. So like you go through it and you're like, that should be a different word. And I don't
I was
realize
just kind
it.
of skimming. Fully correct.
Well, because like I also like I know what I meant to write, so I read it that way, and then like people are like, "What does this line mean?"
usually when I see typos in scripts, I understand.
Yeah, you can put it together, but some people are unable to do so, and that's okay.
Well, usually I'm just like,
I
clean it up. That's what I say. I just say clean it up because I know there's typos.
Yeah.
Sam says no to the dance now.
Yeah.
Respect.
I changed that.
Slut.
I changed I changed that and I changed her in page meeting.
The way Jude looked at me after I said that. You're so mad.
No, it's like for
It's like Sam's not a slut, I swear.
No, I dig it. Like Sam's a lot more aware of the apocalypse. I feel like that's a good thing.
Mhm.
It's doesn't come off as dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that one time we had where she was like, she slept with her and woke up the next day, like months go by. It's like, what? Yeah.
Hey, but you understand what
Yeah.
happens. so does Sam, because your eyes are through.
Just snort or drag.
A drag. Yeah. Like sometimes you put like I had.
Yes.
That's pretty much what I just did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Smoke a drag.
Smoke a drag.
That's meant
Take
take
a
a drag. Take a drag. Yeah. And smoke.
It's like
Smoke.
So I was thinking of smoke like a
am
drag.
I missing something?
No, you're
that
not.
I,
That was an accident.
see, there we go. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Nobody calls them fucking groceries.
The real.
They call it loot.
True.
Yeah.
Respect.
I'm gonna start doing that. When my roommate's like, "Do we want to go grocery shopping?" I'm gonna be like, "Well, let's go loot it." Should we shop anymore?
Yeah. Ever since COVID, man, I've been looting.
I just saw that episode of It's Always Sunny where they loot the grocery store because they think there's a storm coming and then it like drizzles.
Remember when like I forget what state it was. I think it was like Minnesota when they're like raiding Target and like looting that one guy just like took all the Legos.
You took the Legos?
Yeah, he took
Fucking genius.
some Legos. Like everyone was just like stealing like food, TVs. This guy just he just wanted Legos, man.
That'd be me.
Good for him.
Literally, yeah, for sure.
Steal from Target.
Still from Target, yeah.
I
fine.
I promote stealing, guys.
It's
I don't actually on the records. Shingy, I do not.
Yeah,
I do.
I would never support stealing,
I would never steal.
I do.
except don't tell Hot Topic I said this, but continue to steal from them.
Hot Topic is
They're so easy.
and also from my friends who have worked not at this one in Flagstaff, but my friends who have worked for the ones in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Not the best places to work. I hope it's different up here.
No, it's like, I mean, the manager, like, she does her best, but there's only so much you can do, and it's a terrible company.
Well, it's also
That's
not
how
just
it's-
season. So you see it.
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
yes, the
Like Home Depot and work down there in Tucson, these people they get like flatbed cars and they put like thousands of dollars of tools on it and they just walk out. Can't chase them.
no, you can't.
One time we had an employee that did chase him, he got stabbed. Then he got fired. He got fired.
Bro,
He chased
that
him.
man.
Dude,
Sick.
no, I think I don't know. I didn't know the
I-
guy. He was a new worker. He didn't really last long there.
At Barnes and Noble.
Apparently not. He got a stab.
And he got fired.
Yeah, same day actually. They went out to help him. They go, "You're fired."
Like in the office with me.
Put some pressure on that.
Yeah, fired two of them. Yeah, I will let you go.
If you're gonna bleed, do it outside, please.
Fuck that.
One time when I was working at one of my retail jobs in Phoenix, our manager, who like out of all people should know not to try to fucking stop somebody who's stealing clothes, was talking.
Beans.
But she
Oh, I like it.
Jake and like this woman who was trying to shop straight in the jaw, knocked her out one punch. She was gone, and I was like, my manager was also like really fucking mean. So I was like,
Oh, that's why you don't need to hear on
and
it.
I was like, oh no.
I'm different though. I actually
I'm
chase,
different.
I chase mine. I chase the customers. I actually tackle them. Everything spear tackle, full blown.
Okay, I worked at Barnes and Noble for a bit.
And then you
and
say you're
sometimes if people sold a lot of books, the employees would chase after them and tackle them
Really?
around.
Because they're nerds, bro. Like,
Yeah.
that's
I mean,
like a full on like 6 foot, like 210 pound like athlete stealing books. Like, come on.
Like people would steal manga all the time, and it was like whatever, they're gonna do that. But if they sometimes people would walk out with stacks of books, be like, okay, here I go.
There I go. Time my laces up real quick.
Yeah.
It's good.
He's just laughing at my
He's
screen.
like,
He was laughing at mine too, and I was like,
Eric is like, Eric is like, oh,
yeah, it's good.
No.
No, you were laughing at mine too, and I was like, what's so fucking funny, Eric?
yeah. As far as I remember, my story is not a comedy.
Yeah, mine's actually a pretty deep drama.
Guys, you have to know, I laugh at
Okay.
You're like awkward situation.
exactly. When I cringe, I love that feeling. And it makes me so
Well, I'm
That's
really
what you
good
like.
at being, so.
I'm not saying that
It's your cryptic button.
but there is some, it's cute in a way. Like it's cute cringe. Like maybe I think you're pretty, and why do you keep looking at me?
Yeah.
It's just funny. Like it's
Yeah,
it's fun.
yeah.
Objectively, I think you're attractive. Wow. It's just like
I've been told that so many times. I'm like, but objectively, you're attractive.
You're not.
You just suck.
Yeah, I've seen Seth Rogen's long shot.
No,
Yeah.
actually,
I think we talked about this last
I saw
time.
it.
So that's about Little Yachty. You mentioned it. Yeah.
Think about
the
it a lot.
concept of that movie was a bit interesting to me.
It's the shit that happened. The concept is boring, but it's the shit that happens that is fucking insane.
I just think it's very.
So-
I don't like. It's his babysitter, right? Like,
Well,
his
she
old
was
babysitter.
his
Yeah,
babysitter.
I think that's quite interesting.
Dude, no, the anal sex scene got me so bad the
Anal
first time I
sex
watched
scene?
it. You don't remember? You don't remember that scene?
Like you saw.
I think you're watching a different shot,
The
bro.
one with Charlize Theron and Seth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't have
He's
anal
watching the
sex.
one.
Yes, they do. And it's, oh my god, I'm finding the clip
I
right
think
there.
you saw the right version.
Be careful if you Google that.
It's
Shot
not
anal scene.
Seth
Look
Rogen
on
on
YouTube.
YouTube.
Okay, YouTube is safe. Hold on.
One time I
Main
pulled a
girl,
sex
long
scene from
shot.
Reddit because nobody else
Like,
wanted it.
That's not
That was
gonna end
funny.
up good. Ooh.
I've looked up weirder things on Google.
I've looked up things on Google unintentionally, and then it like pops up with a warning. It's like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's not what I meant."
No, I'm not.
What year did that movie come out? 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it on opening weekend. I took a
saw
girl
it.
to see it, and I could not stop fucking crying laughing.
Funny.
One of my favorite Seth Rogen movies is This Is the End.
My friend.
Dude, I love
like,
This Is the End,
trying to get
dude.
me to watch that right now.
Dude, it's really fun.
It's so
I have to watch Moonlight tonight for a class, but maybe
overrated.
I
overrated.
saw it in
Wrong.
2020,
Wrong.
but I don't remember anything about it.
I'll say one thing.
Wrong.
La La Land should have won.
Wrong.
Yes.
I've never seen La La Land.
I'm a firm believer.
You don't like La La Land?
No, I love La La Land.
You think Moonlight was better?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay. When I mean overrated though, I doesn't mean I don't like.
Moonlight is really good, but
I think it's just
La La Land is like,
La La Land is just so.
Okay, well then, what were your thoughts on Babylon?
I love
I
Babylon.
haven't seen it.
You have to see Babylon.
On HBO Max, it keeps taunting.
It's
me.
on HBO Max. No, it's
See, I bought it.
I watched it already.
I bought it.
I didn't.
I know. I bought it digitally on Prime because I was like fiending to see it again.
I own one movie digitally, and
No,
it's
it's
a
not.
terrible movie.
What movie?
Repo the Genetic Opera.
No idea what that is.
It's a 2008 rock
It's
opera
on
with
Paramount.
Paris Hilton.
That sounds like the
incredible.
best movie.
It's on
I've ever
Paramount?
So-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on
Paramount.
Paramount.
I got mixed up.
Yeah, it's on Paramount.
Oh, and then Paramount.
Bro, what the fuck? I swear it happened. I swear it happened.
They didn't have anal
And
sex.
she like put it in my butt, and I'm just like, dude, I just like fucking audibly was
You're
crying.
still on it, you know.
Well, like, okay, if she said that, it would have been
It's like when
in
they're
the
having
scene,
sex, like
when
once in
they-
a lifetime.
like
I'm
when they
happy
had
with
sex
you.
after that party, and she was like,
Honey,
"I want you
this
to
is
like
the
choke me
best
a little."
They find out that.
They're just like
It's so funny. The first time they have
I
sex,
do that shit
and
all the
it
time.
lasts like a minute, and they
One of my
both say,
favorite-
"Oh boy."
Frank Robbins
Oh my
like, yes.
God.
She goes,
Dude, that'd be
It's
horrible.
yeah.
take
That's
fingers
so
in my
funny.
monkey
That's one of
flashlight
the most
keychain.
awkward experiences.
Hey, flashlight keychain. What's the name?
That is so funny.
No, I love that movie.
So
I'll never forget that monkey flashlight keychain thing.
Or if they were all like they're all outside Emma Watson's like rooms. Like, hey, what's gonna break Emma Watson's be fucking Jay.
Oh my god, this is the end has already aged so bad.
It's so good. What do you
It's so funny, but
I've-
it aged so poorly
That's
in the last
a
like
lot. I think
I feel like
it's
it's
like
like
there was one movie like comedy that I watched recently. Oh, it was when I was watching It's Always Sunny. It was like one of the earlier seasons, and I was like, damn, this show is really good, but like when your pilot is titled The Gang Gets Racist, that's the balls of that show. It's great. It's a great show. But,
Dude, I recently watched 21 Jump Street lately.
how was that?
I like Jonah Hill.
I love. Oh yeah.
Sounds like
It, like, changed your
Sounds
opinion.
fucking funny.
It like changed my opinion about.
I like
something.
this. I like to
My name is Jeff.
It's all those moments like this is the scene that made Kanye like Jews again, and it was like Jonah Hill saying like, person can be black, white, Mexican, Jewish. I love them. Like this seems to be talking like the officer is so fun.
I showed a friend of mine that. I'm like, that's not fucking real. I was like, go to comedy class.
That's hilarious how real it is though.
Have you seen this outtake of Always It's Always Sunny? Oh fuck.
Hey, I can't
No
hear it.
sound.
I can't hear
Like put it in my butt.
it. Sorry, I got mixed up.
That's a big I know.
There's half the fucking show is like not scripted.
I could just slip in and
I don't know, we don't know a thing. And then AIDS ruined everything. That is such a profound.
That's it. Alright, I'm finishing your script now.
Okay.
I'm just getting sidetracked. We only have like an hour left.
LOL.
Actually, for me, it's like 40.
Yeah.
I'll probably dip by 5:45.
That's fine, I guess.
I just have to pick up equipment from Mr. Pringle.
Mr. Pringle.
His last name's Pringle.
That's funny.
It's a cool name.
It's like a joke because Pringles.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh.
He just genuinely,
I was really confused
Right.
until you said that.
I have friends that are thick in the head.
I know I look I'm actually a bit intelligent,
A bit.
slightly.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm only like 2 or 3 seconds off from each joke.
Bro.
He got it.
You're telling me, okay, I have a quick question. You're telling me Sam has been like in isolation for like 15 years and she hasn't been to a park since she was like 12 or 13?
Yeah.
I just feel like she would have been to a park.
I don't know. Well, like I was thinking about
I
it.
guess it maybe depends on the type of park.
Yeah.
Is it a national
Well,
park?
like then, well, read the next line.
What the fuck? You're right. Okay, you're right.
They're literally not done talking.
I'm sorry. It struck a nerve.
Yeah,
It's fine.
you're just a park enthusiast.
Oh wow. So this is Act 1.
This
It's
is
moving real
like
fast.
technically Act 2.
Oh, okay. So are you gonna expand more on your Act 1?
Yeah, I'm thinking about adding something before Sam meets Paige to lengthen Act 1 because in my head, Act 1 is when they meet.
I have a couple
Okay.
questions.
Because I think there's some notes about the expo dump
93.
that kind of
93
happens
is the
between them when
current
they
one.
first meet. And I think
23
rather
years
than
ago.
doing
23,
an
so
expo dump,
98
use
is
that
the
in action by having Sam learn
Yeah.
about the apocalypse through
Yeah.
interaction with someone less.
Yeah,
inspired.
I was thinking that she needs someone who either like wants to like take advantage of her or like
Steal her
is
shit.
dick or
Yeah.
something
Something like that.
that adds more drama and more length and
Maybe Sam lands a really good baseball shot to the head or something. It knocks the guy out cold or something.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe Paige swoops in and saves the day.
Oh, is it 94?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Sam's like, I'm indebted to
Wow.
you.
because it's good, and I
Yeah.
really like Sam and Paige's relationship. You have a strong
Yeah.
act too, but it is missing that
Oh, start off by saying
that
it's
entryway from
Okay.
Act 1 into Act 2.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
that's about it. But I really like the Paige and Sam stuff. It's heartfelt.
Thanks.
I think I'm glad the world ended. See, she liked me for real.
I'm writing this and I'm like, how much is too much inspiration from The Last of Us?
You can definitely tell, but you know what? Fuck it. Why not?
Yeah.
Inspiration helps us write great things.
Yeah. I recently submitted glorified fan fiction to my creative writing class. So
Also,
and the people loved it.
Last of Us is dark as fuck, and it is very nihilistic. And
Yeah.
I don't think you're going for like a
Yes.
nihilistic tone
Yeah.
storytelling. So I think it's already pretty different.
Wait, I feel like it's like Love and Monsters.
Love and Monsters.
I haven't seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
It's a good movie.
Not seen it
Solid,
either.
solid movie.
I went to a class one time called Love and Monsters.
You should watch it. I think it's on Amazon.
Okay.
It's with Dylan O'Brien.
Sometimes you just
It's not my
names.
that one.
Okay.
Oh man,
Such a joke.
No. Just at the end.
What's funny?
It's
What she died.
Should we just start off? Should we start with Jude's
It's
script?
just
or-
very intimate and it's just very
Were you
straightforward.
getting
with
uncomfortable
intimacy.
reading?
No, it's just funny. It's just like she pulls Sam's pants off. She gives Sam pants.
I'm sitting this morning and it's like, how
You should have done it like super descriptive, like overwhelmingly descriptive. You just made it as awkward as possible.
You know, it is the job of the screenwriter to be very descriptive or as much as they can without like telling the director exactly what to do. But
yeah,
Unless you're directing.
I don't want to be a director.
Really?
Yeah,
Not like once.
maybe I would try it.
I
I
think
don't think I would direct
really.
yeah.
I feel like that's just my goal. I would love to just direct my
I
next
think I would only direct.
Yeah, I just only do that.
I don't want to be.
I want to have the faith in my writing that somebody else will interpret it the way that I'm
So I guess we'll just start off with Jude's script.
It's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how I'll be.
Yeah. Okay, so Jude, yeah, you made good progress.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, I think you need to add something in Act One.
Yeah.
I think there's a point where like they're like stopping like station to station, you know, and it kind of felt like a music video. And I think if you're gonna go for that, maybe you can like make it more like a montage.
Like the Shrek scene where they're walking all the way to the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, cause then I don't know. You can probably add something more in Act One that can like draw it out more, and then you get to that montage scene or whatever you prefer. And then also, for some reason, and it might just be me like as a personal like virtue, but I still think the conversation of like letting Paige get in the car with Sam, just like you fixed it. I think like her in the grocery store, like following her and stuff works out perfectly.
Mhm.
And like her, like that one dude gets shot. You know, like I think that works perfectly, better than like pulling a gun on her, you know?
Mhm.
I think
Helen Fish.
I think you need to have the conversation go longer.
Okay.
I think you're getting there, but I think you're taking a little bit of a shortcut. And like I think like you need to get there. I don't know. That's just kind of how I see it. And then like some smaller things that like that just need to be fixed, like some like descriptions aren't like grammatically like correct for the description.
Yeah.
I'll try to find it. I'll try to find it.
Maybe this is tropey, but maybe there's a way for Paige to be introduced to Sam that isn't them just running into each other happenstance. Maybe like, I mean, still happenstance, but more like Paige's urge to act to
Yeah.
like make Sam aware. So like maybe we were talking about how Sam gets jumped, like taken advantage of.
Mhm.
Maybe the guy gets shot in the head out of nowhere, and it's like, and then Sam passes out or something because whatever. So, like, you can figure it out, but. Yeah, there's like a lot of ways you could do it. I don't know. There should be a way for Sam to immediately place more trust in Paige and Paige to be like, because to me it feels like Paige is taking care of Sam to an extent because Sam's out of the loop. Sam doesn't know what's going on. It's not until she gets back into the city that things kind of strike her. It's like, oh shit, the world ended. Sick. And so, yeah, find a way to build that trust more naturally for sure. But I think it's good. I think it's funny.
Well, like I feel like none of my screenplays that I'm working on are comedies, but I cannot help but be a silly little joke.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can't find anymore, but there was one I just found right here
Okay.
where it says she's staring at Paige.
Uh-huh.
We can assume it is Sam, but it's a whole new description. So you have to make sure you say Sam is like stares at Paige.
Okay.
Instead of staring at Paige, staring
Yeah.
at Paige. Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I could find. I couldn't find the other one. The other one, like,
Oh, okay, I'm following.
yeah, there was
I was like,
one.
what?
Yeah, there was one like really nitpicky one that I
Yeah.
can't find right now, but just like clean it up.
Yeah. If you find it, you can leave a comment.
For sure, yeah. But yeah, I think you need to add something for like in Act One, yeah.
Do you think adding like a different person for conflict would work?
You know, I think we talked about this last time in a meeting, and I think we talked about how when Sam slept with that one girl at the bar,
Mhm.
and we're like, oh, make her an important character later on.
Mhm.
Maybe you can maybe tie her in later in the story, but like in Act One, I don't know. Maybe
Like I was thinking more of like somebody else who's like Paige, like on their own in the apocalypse, and they're like they have devious intentions with Sam, and Sam like kind of realizes this but doesn't know how to get out of it, and maybe Paige like comes and saves the day.
Honestly, that's actually a good idea solely because one thing I forgot to mention was I think Paige at first is kind of like rough on the nails, like kind of just like, oh yeah, like the apocalypse just started, like how do you not know, dumbass kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden she's very like charismatic, and, like flirty with her.
Mhm.
So like maybe that could like break the ice for them, where they get more comfortable with each other, like, oh, I can trust Paige.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it can even happen after they fucking meet, or Sam and Paige.
No,
and
like
then
they
both
decide-
get attacked
Like
by some
Sam.
crackheads, you know?
Oh, I was thinking like if they didn't want to go in the same direction after they first met, and then Sam got in trouble and Paige was like, oh,
Yeah, and then
shit.
rendezvous again.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of ways to build up trust naturally, like.
Yeah.
Maybe you can even slide in a joke there, like. Yeah,
Or instead, because it sounds like Sam has nowhere to go,
Yeah.
and
exactly.
Paige is going, and Paige is catching them right along.
Yeah.
What if, like, this is you don't have to agree with me, but there could be maybe Paige is the one driving and Sam goes along. Maybe Sam, like maybe someone steals Sam's car. Like that's her life. That's everything. It's gone. And then she meets Paige, and Paige is like, "Do you want to come along with me?" or something like that.
Like some Harold and Kumar shit where
Yeah, yeah.
they get the car at the end.
Yeah.
Neil Patrick Harris was like,
Yeah.
this stains.
And maybe down the road as they're going to New Mexico, they find her van.
Happenstance, a miracle.
Because then there's now like another layer of like how much this band means to her.
Mhm.
And maybe like Paige is like, oh, it's just a car, like it's whatever. And it's like, no, like that's my home. You know, like add a little bit more of that depth to the character.
And then she has to choose Paige or the van.
Okay.
I have CT. It's Teton.
Do I look?
Sorry. I actually own it. I actually own Teton.
Teton?
I can't take it.
Titan sounds way better.
It sounds a lot better, but someone corrected me, and I was like, "That's bullshit." And I googled it, and then the director's like, "Teton." I was like, "Yeah, about a car fucking girl." Right, bro.
Well, the girl got the car.
Actually,
It was consensual. All right.
Yeah. And then that's-
Tane.
Titan with an E at the end.
that movie.
I like Julia Decor now. She's a good director. Have you seen
I,
Oh yeah, Teton is very out there.
It's like I hate like I'll say Midsummer when people go Midsummer. I'm like, oh,
Midsommar.
that's crazy.
Or do you know what pisses me off more? Say Vivage. It's witch, bro. Like, no, it's two B's. It's witch,
like
dude.
I'm saying it as the bitch. It's like funny for. But if you say that like, if you're being serious.
Why do you think they'll do it if it wasn't a touch?
Or people say A24 instead of A24.
I don't think I've ever heard that one.
A24.
I've never heard of it.
Or like, do you know what a biopic is?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so people say biopic. I'm like, it's biopic.
Yeah.
I've heard biopic
Because it's
before, and I'm like,
It made me question everything of what I know
Because
about
it's
biopics.
bio.
Yeah, like a biography picture.
precisely.
Yeah.
But then if you mush it into one word, then
Biopic.
biopic.
Or are you
No.
trying to defend biopic?
He's being devil's
You're
advocate right now.
disgracing the root words, okay? Like people on TikTok would use like TLOU for The Last of Us and pronounce it Tolu. Like just say The Last of Us.
TikTok is also just like the worst place.
Or
It's like the worst and the best place.
You know the word
It's
integral?
Integral?
Yeah.
Integral.
See, everyone knows it's integral. My whole life, I've always thought it was integral. Like it sounds like important to something that's
I
integral.
mean, I think
People are
like
saying for everything.
I think that
That's why
yeah,
they take
integral just like less important.
Just say
Or
everything
like
everywhere.
Integral is like
matter as
mathematics.
That's the first two words.
What?
You're
I
talking
think
about.
integral is like a mathematic term. Integral is like
Integral, integral.
No,
I think it's
a
integral.
different.
Is it completely the same?
no. I watched a whole YouTube video about it, and it's actually different. The delivery is actually different meanings.
Yeah, because like one's for math.
Yeah, it really bothered me because everyone's like, "No, it's integral." Like, dude, I've heard integral my whole life. Anyways, we're just going so.
I think I would use integral for like if I was like, oh, this scene is integral to the movie.
Yeah. Or like sometimes
Yeah.
we
Yeah, like potato.
no.
Fine, data.
No.
That's
Like,
The same with data and data.
no.
Like let's check the data. But if my phone is like has like data, it runs out of data.
Data.
For me, data, but then data is like the charts.
I'm a data truther.
I'm a both, man. Well, like Caribbean.
Caribbean.
Caribbean's the proper term.
Yeah, so you call it Pirates of the Caribbean?
No, I say Caribbean because of what?
P-Rod?
No.
I say Caribbean because of what?
Pirates.
But let me I say Pirates of the Caribbean. Every other term is like
Become, never mind.
okay,
I was gonna make a One
okay.
Piece joke, but nobody watches that.
We'll talk about
I don't know that.
Do you?
No.
let's talk about your script now. Well, do you have any questions?
I haven't made any changes, so it's just kind of what you guys.
True, yeah, yeah.
I mean, I just changed the sheet and then deleted it.
Yeah, from what I read, the stuff that you added, I think I like the party a lot. I think it's very overwhelming on purpose. Like when I was like, there's a lot going on, a lot of people being thrown out, a lot of names being dropped. That was very interesting. The stabbing himself, that was pretty intense.
Yeah.
Bad?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be intense.
Like, okay, I didn't know if like bad intense.
No. Like you're no, it's like it's good. Like it was
Yeah,
good.
that's what I wanted the moment to be, to sling you into act two, which, I just keep deleting, but yeah, I'll have it in there at some point.
Yeah. But yeah, kind of like what I said last week or 2 weeks ago was just make sure you introduce the plot a little bit early on, like flirt with it in the beginning. Because I feel like in the beginning it's kind of you don't really know.
To be fair, the kind of direction I want to take with the script is that it really isn't a plot. It's more of a character study.
Character study, okay.
It's just the
You're
events
speaking my language.
it's just the events of life that change him as he like experiences new things. And he begins to deal with mental illness. I'm not trying to portray any of these things in a negative light, but it's just like these are things that just happen to people as they get older and you realize things.
Things start
It's
to make a
supposed
lot
to be
more
like
sense.
nihilistic.
Things make a lot more sense.
Your life is going nowhere. You're 24. You don't really know what you want to do with your life still, and everyone else seems to have it all planned out. I mean,
Early life crisis.
But that's where you're supposed to be. But not
the
supposed to
whole
be.
point is he has nothing like going on.
He's so mean.
Yeah.
So that's why it's kind
Sure,
of
yeah. Maybe like add like a text message from his sister early on. Or like
Yeah.
a phone call. Like when he's about to go on the date or something.
Gotcha.
Then we kind of get some sort of like idea, like, oh, like his mom's breathing on his neck, or like there's some sort of like there's checking in on it or something. It adds a little more character to him. So
Gotcha. I feel like there is a way I could like introduce
yeah,
this
you can finesse it, yeah.
because the sister is where his life, somewhat.
She seems like the most
He has
integral
a
part.
responsibility. He is now responsible, but he's still sidetracked by other things in his life that he thinks are more important.
Yeah.
Hence why the final act of the play is her,
Mhm.
revealing that
Um,
she was vulnerable.
yeah. And also I think another thing that I just popped up was the pizza scene about the dad.
Yeah.
Like, it's your dad's favorite slice. Like it's like
Yeah.
I think it's very on the it's very on the nose.
I get it.
Dad.
It's cheesy.
Yeah, a little cheesy, yeah.
I did like it when, the guy threw up, because that would be me. If I ate that much pizza, I just vomit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, like you can like easily do like a thing where like she's already moody, like oh, this is dad's favorite place, and then she storms off, and then the mom could be like, oh, like this much how much like this place means to us. He's like, yeah, I get it, and he goes like the cemetery's afterwards, right? The grave.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he goes there afterwards. I think the audience can figure it out. They're like, oh yeah, that pizza place meant a lot to them because that could have been the dad's favorite place to be.
Okay.
Maybe he makes a joke saying like, yeah, like she was being mean at the pizza place. My sister, was her name Kate, right? Or that's the mom's name.
That's the mom's.
What's the sister's name again?
Fuck.
You don't even remember.
It's like
Yeah, fuck that sister. But no, but you get what I'm saying though. Like, oh yeah, she was being like a little bit of a bitch.
Names are Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So
Cool. Thank you.
it's good though. It's good. I think it's funny too.
I'm glad.
Like the whole stabbing thing. I was like,
Okay.
it was kind of like because it's like 0 to 100 type of thing. Like everything's kind of like I don't want to say normal because it's an absurd kind of situation that's happening, like the jokes and whatnot. But when he gets to the party, like him stabbing himself, obviously I knew that was gonna happen at some point because you told us that. But the fact that like the way it went down and the way it went from
It doesn't feel forced.
it just feels like out of the blue, like oh shit, it catches me off guard. But that's what kind of like gets you on the boat type of thing.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, what is like happening?
This is the type of story that I'm getting.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Because I feel like the most of the story is like you're figuring out what you're getting
Problem
into in a
is,
good way.
whatever I've written since, it's just him like moving and getting out of the hospital, and it's just
Maybe
so
skip the
boring,
hospital.
and it's so.
Skip the hospital.
So,
But I feel like you need to pick up from where he, leaves off, which you think he's like, oh, he's fucked. He may have just killed himself. That's the movie, but it's not the case.
Well, I think we know it's not the case. So then if you just skip to where he's just like at home or
He could have like
out,
bandages and
yeah, and his
medication
and his
stuff.
mom's like now like constantly breathing. I'm like, oh my gosh, like are you taking your medications? Blah blah blah. It's like, yeah.
Mhm.
do we talk about
Honestly, I like that.
Don't make it corny.
I do like
And then mom's like, every time you're like, what actually happened? He'd be like, I just fell. The party is some shit like that.
uh
Sure, yeah.
the cut lag. I definitely infer that his friends like,
I saw it.
911.
Yeah.
His face.
Like I trust you know how to write too.
Okay,
I don't know.
I'll brainstorm.
Because maybe the hospital is the reason why
As
you're
a
not
third,
liking what you're writing.
It is boring.
Like,
I hate
yeah,
I hate
it's like,
it.
This would have been.
Change up, have him wake him up on the volcano.
Him
I was thinking
now?
of maybe just restarting
No.
with another dream
No, no, no.
sequence, but I don't know what he would dream. I'll have to think about
Dream about maybe dream about him and his dad.
it. I mean, I did already put a tease in there.
The other thing that I've been playing around with this script, the thing with dreams is like, and it's very true and realistic, like 9 out of 10 of your dreams don't fucking make sense at all. When you wake up, you're like, what? So dreams can be as descriptive or lack as much description as you want. Like I have a dream scene in this where it's like it's pitch black and he sees like faint flashes of light and like hears a voice and then he wakes up. That's the dream. It doesn't have to be like a fully fleshed out like that's why it's kind of fun.
Yeah. I'll give it some thought.
Give it a go.
There's a word I'm like obsessed with, and I think it describes his character perfectly, and it's just the word runt, and I just love that word.
Yeah.
It's been sticking with me because he is. When I wrote the script, I was like, how can I write the runtiest man alive without making him like dislike him? Or
Yeah. You know how you should end the movie? He adopts the runt of the litter.
anyway,
Hip squeak.
maybe let's just see. Yeah,
It's like symbolic.
pet raccoon.
Not quite, but
Okay, well, we're two different minds. We're not gonna agree on everything.
Do you have any questions?
No, not really. I need to fucking get to page 50 before I
50.
get more like input. Because right now I just I don't know, I have to keep writing in order for me to like want to change anything. Because otherwise, right now it's just grammar stuff. Because I still want to see where the story goes without like switching up important scenes or deleting stuff.
Yeah.
But we will see. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm debating if I should take that approach because like
Which approach?
like the of skipping scenes and writing like the scenes that you're very confident in first. Because like where is it? Like when this last scene from like let me find it. Where is it?
Can start. We're reconverting. Hopefully she doesn't actually watch an hour and a half of us.
Well, I mean, we can jump right into yours. Well,
Sure, but what I was going to